and more would choose to stand behind me. A Muslim immigrant who'd arrived in this country from Africa speaking only 2 words of English is proof enough that there are stronger bonds than identity. As a refugee who fled civil war as a child, I'm still trying to figure out where I fit in, which is perhaps why the most important note I found sticking to the wall outside my office had only 3 words. You belong here. Chapter 1, Fighter. 1982 to 1988, Mogadishu, Somalia. The teacher quickly put a student in charge of my 3rd grade class before she stepped out of the room. This was not unusual in my elementary school, where students stayed in the same classroom while our teachers, for different subjects, rotated in and out. When transitioning between periods, teachers usually designated one child to keep the rest from getting too rowdy. Like all kids, we were prone to abusing this position. Today, though, the boy in charge really let his newfound power go to his head. Almost immediately, he ordered another, a smaller boy, up to the chalkboard to write an assignment. I beg you, said the boy being ordered to the board, leave me alone. But the tall boy in charge was determined to humiliate his classmate, who was a minority in every sense. Poor, small, an orphan, he didn't have the crisp white shirts, ironed uniform trousers, and shiny school shoes of the middle class that the large boy and I both came from. The big boy continued to taunt his victim, escalating his threats when his classmate didn't rise from his seat, until finally he shouted, Hoya dawas, which means go fuck your mother in Somali. I burned in my seat. I always hate when people use vulgar language, but I get really angry when it involves mothers, who I knew from the beginning were sacred, even if I didn't have one. I mean, everybody was always talking about how important mothers are. In Islam, my native country's main religion, we learned that paradise is under the feet of mothers. You were supposed to bow to your mother, abide by her every wish, not debase her. There were also deeper forces at play than my 7-year-old brain could recognize in the moment. Although thanks to my older sisters and many loving aunts, I didn't lack for mothering. My mother, my hoyo, had died when I was a preschooler. I don't have a single memory of her, even though I remember other things from that age, like family members fighting over whether or not I should start school. Some of my aunties and uncles thought I was too young because technically you're supposed to wait at least until you lose your first 2 teeth. She will lose her books, someone said. She won't know where to go, another argued. And the other kids will steal from her. But I didn't stop complaining until they let me go. And no, I didn't lose my books or get robbed, even with all of my baby teeth intact. I remember all of that clearly, but my hoyo? What she looked like? Something she said? Even what she died of? Nothing. As an adult, I went to a hypnotist to see if he could help evoke something, anything, a voice, a touch, but nothing emerged. I still find it so odd. Whether it was an early commitment to my religion's teachings or the fact that an absence can loom larger than any reality.